This is going to be the first round here in the upper bracket. Yange meeting MichaeL. And it's a pretty spicy matchup. On paper, it seems like MichaeL should be the big favorite, but look at the win rate. 60% win rate of Yange versus MichaeL. Somehow Yange has really had MichaeL's number for quite some time now. And that was seen also before in the DreamHack, where Yange really had a couple of great performances. So without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, actually with a little bit further ado. Okay. Sorry, I was caught off guard a little bit here with this frantic start.
A player's forces are under attack.
But let's go. We're going to be starting off this series on Amazonia, best of 3, of course. Winner will move on in the upper bracket, loser will still have a chance in the lower bracket. And MichaeL going for the lightning shield creep, as is kind of the norm. Yange, of course, is known for being a warden player, and again, we see him playing the warden once more. On the top level, she doesn't really seem to be playable. Every blue moon, Lorelei is gonna bust her out, but she has some serious weaknesses, but that is Yange's hero. That is his playstyle. Everyone knows Yange plays warden. But in the past, even when MichaeL did know, he still had some issues every now and then. A lot of hero focus is what we're used to seeing from Yange. And we'll be keeping very close eyes on the levels of the warden, on her items, and of course what the DK is able to do against it. Ancient of War is dropping really low. Ooh. This Ancient of War is not supposed to fall. Really not supposed to fall. Oh, Yange! The first big mistake of the game. That Ancient of War is needed desperately to creep. The warden, of course, extremely level reliant. Needs to be creeping.
Forces are under attack.
And the fact now that she lost the Ancient of War is a big problem. What's she gonna creep next? She can attempt this camp and the green, but that's very predictable. If he wants to be really ballsy, he can try to go for this camp without an Ancient of War, but rough start for Yange, that's for sure. Tier 2 tech on the way for both players, very similar in timing. Another reason why the warden recently has been looking a little bit worse is because the undeads nowadays have Ritual Dagger to make use of, and here we see it right away on the DK. It's not a lot of healing, but it's a bit of healing over time. MichaeL, formerly known as Lucifer, playing this very carefully. Good scouting, skeleton sent out across the map. Oh, this is an interesting creep camp by Yange. This is very unlikely to be scouted. Nobody would ever expect this one, so this is pretty cool. Warden, if she gets this, should be almost level 3, but she's taking a lot of damage here. MichaeL now healing up, and could go to the middle to the kobolds to easily get level 3 there. Whereas I'm still not sure if this is quite enough for the warden. She's also going to have to run back, heal up from the moonwells. This takes a lot of time. Normally you want to get level 3 quickly with the warden, then find kills against the opponent to slow him down, get level 4 fast, keep on creeping, rush tier 3, warden solo, get level 5, and then either go for economy harass or hero focus. Sometimes with an expansion, especially if you go for econ harass. But especially on this map, playing an expansion isn't going to be so easy. Pretty close to the opponent, hard to creep, easy to jack. Oh, that was actually level 3 before the warden. Wow. I didn't think it was quite going to be enough, but it was. Both heroes now on level 3, and this gives a lot of kill threat to the warden. This is going to be quite a few ghouls going down. MichaeL, perhaps a little bit careless with his little friends. 2 ghouls go down, 3 ghouls go down. And that was a little bit painful. The trick against the warden, or the key I should say, against the warden is always knowing when to be aggressive against her and knowing when to be passive. And I think slowing down the warden in the beginning is a good idea, but once she's level 3, you should really fall back, creep up yourself, play defensive, play around the statues, I'd probably also go for a second necropolis. We do not have a second necropolis. We do have cannibalize. That's kind of cool. Very rare to see. MichaeL getting some good value out of this ritual dagger. Waiting for the Lich to join. And now with Coil Nova, he definitely has an option here to look for some juicy kills. This Berserker is worth a lot. Not just in gold, but also in experience. Or MichaeL just a little bit too late. Was almost in time there to steal that last hit. Should definitely secure this one. A little bit too slow. Last hit goes to the Warden. Lich still on 0 XP. Warden almost level 4 now. Not the worst early game for Yange now.
A player's forces are under attack.
But the problem with the Warden is always, once tier 3 for the Undead rolls around with Orb, with Statues, Destroyers, maybe with Frenzy Ghouls, the Warden can feel very underwhelming. She needs level 4 at the very least. There's a Cloak of Shadows here, but there should be reveal from the lab, so it's not gonna save him indefinitely. And here we go. This is the Yange classic. Hero focus all the way.
A player's forces are
But there's a statue now, and that makes things for the Warden a lot more difficult. And the Fiend transition also starting to come in. A lot of mana expended on the Warden. She does get level 4 here with the units over there. The big mistake so far by MichaeL, I think, was having his ghouls out in the middle. If he doesn't see the Warden early and knows that he's easily getting the level 3 creep, he should also assume that the Warden gets it. So if he had kept all those ghouls alive, or at least only lost one, then the tier 3 timing could be really strong.
forces are under attack.
The longer this game goes, normally the better it's going to be for MichaeL. He's going to have dual hero at least, possibly triple hero, with either Alchemist or Dark Ranger. Which I think is the right call against the Warden. And as long as it's 1 base versus 1 base only, MichaeL should be completely fine with this. S tier 3 is finally finished. We already have a Zeppelin. That seems a bit early. The idea of the Zeppelin is when the Warden goes into the main base to use Shadow Strike to harass, you can upload the Acolytes into the Zep and keep him safe that way. It's only really dangerous when the Warden's level 5. Which she is not yet. She's trying to get there. On level 4, you don't get too much experience from creeps. But since it's single hero Warden on tier 3, in that scenario, with high tech and single hero, the player gets bonus experience on that hero. For tier 2, if it's single hero, it's 15%. And on tier 3, it's 30% bonus experience. Which is designed to make the unusual single hero play possible. Only really ever playable for Night Elf. All other races require at least 2 heroes. But Night Elf has the characteristic that normally their units are really strong and their heroes are kind of not that powerful, especially in the late game compared to some other races. So with the Warden, of course, it's a prime example of playing a hero solo. But also with a Demon Hunter, it can be sometimes done, but only very rarely. We keep on creeping. Oh, Rune Bracer is actually a wonderful item for MichaeL. You should know how much Yange loves to go for hero focus. And he's not going for a third hero. Temple of the Damned being added in now as well. Wants to go for Banshees, wants to have anti-magic. And look at that, the Warden got level 5. Oh, creeping this red camp with only 2 Fiends and 2 Ghouls is not gonna be too easy. Warden, is she gonna retrain? Oh, wow. That is news to me. From what I saw in Yange games, it was always hero-focused Shadow Strike. But here now he's trying to go for the economy and get ahead in gold quite significantly. Gets only 1 Acolyte at the beginning. But this Warden, hard to be dealt with right now. And we have a Creep Jack at the same time. Double level up for MichaeL though. Level 4 and 3. I think he can win this fight pretty easily as long as the Warden isn't around. And she doesn't have a Staff of Telly. Does have the boots. Trying to run over now. One bear has fallen. Lots of Borrow being used as well. Nova hitting these bears really hard. And this fight so far is clearly going to MichaeL. He's going to start mining again soon. But as the Warden joins, things are going to change. Reveal coming in. Warden is ready. She's got the blink fan. Oh, that's one fiend kill. Two. Perhaps a third. Oh my god. And Yange, dude. He does it again. He always manages to do it. It's kind of crazy. MichaeL really has trouble against this Warden style. And now, this is always the weird situation. The Warden's level 5, she can always jump into the Acolytes. It's gonna make things very expensive. And then Idav can just camp on 50 supply for a long time. Trying to get also, at some point, that ultimate. Oh, Sapper coming in. A connection here would be glorious. Blink fan. Is MichaeL gonna realize? Is he gonna see the Sapper? I don't think he's seen it yet. Creeping up a bit more in the meantime. Oh, okay, he saw it. The Sapper isn't gonna connect too big. Was a bit of a waste of money. But the Warden is buying time here. Lots of mining time losses compared to the gold mines. It is already 800 gold and it's probably just gonna get worse. MichaeL 36 supply only. Does have strong heroes though. The Warden still sitting here, 200 experience away from the ultimate. During nighttime, the Warden can do this very well when there's no detection in the main unless heroes are close by. To use dust. Shade is a consideration, but very expensive on lumber. Next Invis potion. Alright, 2 Invis potions and a Sapper, so more than 400 gold invested for this harass. It comes at a price. But also a lot of time being bought right here. With the Zeppelin, perhaps a little bit late. Warden once again. Gonna use Final Knives. And there it is, this time. 2 Acolytes going down. And this is, of course, very annoying to deal with. Oh, and Yange already went into upkeep. Acolytes have to be remade. Oh, and the Warden blinks back in! Triple kill here. Smart play by Yange. He knew that the Acolytes were going to be resupplied in the gold mine. Cost him Invul, Sapper, and TP though. So again, it comes at a price. But perhaps most importantly, he got experience. And he got so close to level 6 now. Perhaps a bit of a misclick on the dust here. But this game is looking great for Yange now. He's got a good army. For MichaeL, that is not the case. Oh, still not mining fully from the main base. Just a handful of units here for MichaeL. For Yange, we have 54 supply. It's kind of a weird moment to break. I feel like that may have been a bit too early.
A player's forces are under attack.
Would have liked to see him just continue this base harass over and over. And expand behind it at 50. Could just plan a proxy expo here. We do see the expansion now. But he is already in upkeep, so... This is going to cost quite something. Speaking of cost, though, let's compare the gold mine. 5,200, 3,500. That's 1,700 gold. Absolutely crazy. Plus the Acolyte, so it's like 2k gold that was lost here. A lot of focus fire on the Warden, but she's got a heal potion. Anti-magic is doing a good job. MichaeL doesn't have much damage though. And here we go, the Warden gets level 6 and now it's time for the ult. DK did not skill Death Pact, which I find kind of questionable. Oh, MichaeL, I thought perhaps he may have found the answer to this style by now, but again he struggles. Again, Yange might be able to beat him. The last 3 encounters they had all went to Yange. In the DreamHack season, the main season, also in the DreamHack Qualifier, and in the ESL Open Cup. MichaeL just can't quite figure out how to beat this Warden. As it seems. Or is there still a chance? It's looking really rough. With the nukes, he's finding some kills, but the Warden jumps in. I think it might be not too bad to retrain into... Wait a minute. He sold the Ruined Bracers! Oh my goodness. That's one more bear, that's level 5, but the expansion is gonna finish. MichaeL lost his whole army. And it's looking rough. Yeah, once the Warden is level 5 and level 6, things are difficult. I think the problem for MichaeL was early game and late game. I think he didn't quite scout perhaps well enough. Although this was just a really cool creep route by Yange creeping this camp. But once he was level 3, MichaeL should have scouted with Skellies and with the Acolyte and not exposed his ghouls. Losing these 3 ghouls in the early mid-game stages, super painful. And then he wasn't able to pressure on tier 3. Normally you're supposed to go for a timing push with a Dark Ranger with DK level 3 or 4 when the Warden isn't level 5 yet. When she is still pretty weak on level 4. And then behind that push you can expand. That's normally the best way to counter the Warden. But if the Warden has a good game, if things go her way in the early stages, she can spiral out of control. It's just that if she's perfectly countered, she can look pretty weak. But it's easy to misstep, as I believe MichaeL has done here a little bit. Thank you, Ultimate Viking with a 3-month resub. Also, Klein Wok with a raid, thank you. And Mid9 with a 52-month resub. Thank you, thank you. Is he retraining again? Apparently not. Wait, what? He just bought an invul and sold it? Is that what happened? Doesn't make sense, I guess, keeping it away from MichaeL. Alright, one last try for the undead. We got a meat wagon now in the mix and disease cloud. MichaeL is gonna manage to get up to 50 supply. But Yange in the meantime is gonna build a big army. He's got the 2 base income now, more bears, more dryads. The ever-present Night Elf army. You got tankiness and high DPS ground attack from the bears. You got air attack and slow and dispel from the dryads. This army, on paper, can deal with everything. Although it can also suffer. Against a perfectly fleshed out undead army, this force here can be a little underwhelming. In the very late game you would want to have hippogriffs as well. But if you add in hippogriffs into this mix as well, then you have the perfect army against undead at any stage. Or surrounds the outer. That was a fresh one. Oh, big mistake by Yange. That is the best opening MichaeL's gonna get. He's of course down a lot in supply. Whew, 20 supply behind. That's pretty huge. But I think he has to go now. This is his best chance. There's a master training, by the way, on these Banshees. And he's got enough mana for 2 possessions. But if you could steal a bear, that would be huge. There is no staff on this Warden. Blink fan. Where are the possessions? 1 getting cancelled. Oh! No, wait, 2 coming through. Oh my god, 2 bears stolen. And that's huge. Using the roar right away. Oh, but the damage against the fiend is also pretty spectacular. This right-click damage from the bears, pretty painful. Rejuvenation being cast, also being dispelled. We have a lot of burrows coming in. Where's the wagon, by the way? Must have been sniped earlier, I didn't see it. MichaeL with 47 supply remaining. He's got bears on his side now as well. A Warden level 7 level up, but that doesn't really do much for her. Disease Cloud applied everywhere. Can MichaeL still do this? He's killing so many units. Starting to run sort of out of mana. Still got a mana potion. The DK's mana is still decent. The Lich's mana is completely out though. Level 3 Nova would be sick against these bears. Oh my goodness. And the Warden, once she's out of mana, she doesn't do anything. The roar again. The Dryads can dispel it. Oh my dude. MichaeL. He might actually be doing it. Huge mistake here by Yange, of course, losing the avatar the way he did. That gave the opening to MichaeL to possibly win this game. Will he win it though? We'll see. Yange needs the avatar. What's the cooldown? What's the cooldown? Still about a minute. Avatar. Still cannot be resummoned. The Lich. Getting healed. A lot of damage on this Warden. Rejuvenation dispelled! Before the blink out comes. Heal scroll as well, invul potion, everything being committed now by Yange. He wants to keep this expansion alive. It feels like he has to. Lich also with the invul potion. Dodges the fan of knives with that one. We got a Banshee. Anti-magic. Not on the heroes and the Warden goes down! Oh my goodness, GG is called. What a comeback by MichaeL. That was absolutely supposed to be Yange's game. 70 supply. But we see the downsides of the Warden. Once she's out of mana, she doesn't do much. In the ultra late game, you are really reliant on the ultimate. And losing the Avatar of Vengeance that way. A huge mistake. An unforgivable mistake that MichaeL very nicely punished. Oh. Man, oh man. Yange is going to be kicking himself. That game was supposed to be his. And now he's going to have to recover mentally, bounce back from this. Good news is, there are better Warden maps than this one. Honestly, the early game was pretty scary. Losing that Ancient of War right away should mean things are very difficult for the Warden. But even without Ancient of War, Yange was able to creep up quite nicely. Got level 3 fast, with an unusual creep route during the first nighttime. Got some ghoul kills. Got level 4 fast, and also level 5 fast. Alright, first map going to MichaeL. Newly, of course, added to the roster of Vision Strikers, MichaeL and Moon, having joined the team recently. Map number 2. We'll see what it is. Amazonia can be pretty hard for the Warden to creep up fast to 4 and 5, but here he managed it pretty well. The nice thing about the Warden on AZ is you get level 2 and 2 items instantly, which is really, really good. I would imagine Last Refuge should be vetoed. That's a really bad map for Warden creeping. And Concealed Hill. Well, Concealed Hill is by far the worst, right? The new maps should be pretty good, especially Tidehunters is great for continuous creeping for Night Elf. Autumn Leaves, also pretty decent, especially if you go double Ancient of War. Although I think Yange doesn't do that so much. Thank you very much, Fruwald, with a 65-month resub, says the Archangel is on fire today. Well, he was in trouble. MichaeL, aka Lucifer, the fallen Archangel. But he brought it back nicely. Dude, if he doesn't lose that Avatar of Vengeance, though, that game is 99% going to Yange. Ooh, that's really, really painful. The Possession, making a huge difference there. Stealing those 2 bears to use a bit of Rejuve and Roar and to take him away from the Night Elf was absolutely huge. Yange perhaps should have scouted better, should have had a staff to look for that. And probably also you should be waiting for Possession to come in and then focus fire everything on the Possession, Banshee, and also use Fan of Knives at that point. It's taken a moment here to start our second game. But I'm sure momentarily we should have... There we go! The lobby getting started. Map number 2 is actually Concealed Hill. Wow. How does Yange not veto Concealed? That's such a disastrous map. IMO. It's also great for the DK. If you lose HP early game against the Warden, against Shadow Strike, which is normally what happens, there's even fountains on this map. I'd love to see MichaeL here playing the new Happy style early game against Night Elf. Go harass with the DK instantly and creep up with the ghouls and backpack in the meantime. It's so strong against Night Elf, mainly seen against Keeper, to creep and harass at the same time. But also against Warden should be possibly great. You can pick up the 2 items with backpack, bring over the ghouls, and then pressure the Warden, slow her down before she's level 3. On some maps it can be hard to do, as we saw on AZ with a good start for the Warden and a smart creep route. But Concealed Hill is so hard to make a Warden work. I'm really curious what the plan here is. Because honestly, normally the Warden, the only thing she can creep without Ancient of War is the green camps. And the only camp she can creep with the Ancient of War after the first one is the lab. So it should be super predictable what the Warden will be up to. Yeah. Would love for MichaeL here to be aggressive. Aggressive right away, and then creep with the ghouls simultaneously, and then pressure the Warden heavily on level 2. In a few moments, we should be ready to start this one. Later today, we're going to have the European qualifier, also the close qualifier, starting the first day. Of course, we're going to have the close qualifiers happening today and tomorrow for all 3 regions, with the Back to Warcraft boys covering the different regions, with me doing Asia, Neo doing Europe, and Carson doing America. What kind of matches do we have for Europe later? Hawk versus Tom, Thorzane versus Terra. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Ente Lubber. Nice to see Lubber again. Side versus Neutron. Oh, that's also a great game. Of 2 good friends. Dice TGW, whatever. Hippo, Star-Shaped, Cooper, Kevin. Please, Sonic. Yeah, Thorzane versus Terra or Side versus Neutron definitely seems like the ticket right there. Alright. Boys and girls, let's get ready for our second map. MichaeL, what a turnaround. What a comeback by him. Oops. Starting into map 2 with a lead, and it's a bit scary here for Yange. As I said, this is not an easy map for the Warden. Like, this must be the hardest map for the Warden, right? Maybe Yange's got a couple of tricks, though. I do remember in DreamHack Summer in the main season, when Yange defeated MichaeL in the group stage, which was pretty sick, it was also on this map that he was able to do it. But just on paper, just logically, just based on creeping, this can be very, very tough for the Warden. If the Undead takes the proper steps. And I would like to see that here from MichaeL. Be aggressive. Make sure the Warden doesn't creep for free. And then creep this camp away from her. Maybe creep this camp away from her. All while making sure that the Warden doesn't get away with any greedy creep camps. And that's the big problem for the Warden. Every camp, or not every camp, but most camps here are greedy for the Warden. So she can creep this camp safely. And this one.
A player's forces are
and that's it.
attack.
That's it. There's no other camp she can creep safely. So, MichaeL should be scouting all the time. Starting off with the Gloves of Haste here for the Warden is possibly the worst drop. And MichaeL also gonna start off with some creeping. I was for a second like, is this a expansion? What the hell? No, it's an Ancient of War. That's a smart idea, I think. Without Ancient of War, you can hardly creep on this map. And if the Warden should find the time to creep this one, this would be great for her. It's very creep-jackable, though. This is a hard expansion to creep. Oh, the scout is huge. This scout is absolutely huge. If MichaeL sees the Ancient of War here, he will know what he has to do. Which is play aggressively. Oh, that's a big moment. Warden gonna get level 2 here, and it seems like the Acolyte will be seeing it. He's too late to cancel the Ancient of War, but just knowing about it is a big deal. Backpack. Wait, did he cancel it? Seems like he canceled it. And we see the tier 2 starting for the undead. Building Ancient of War, of course, slows down your tier 2. But in comparison, I guess, not that much slower. Yeah, just a couple of seconds. And here come the ghouls. Yeah, I like that. Good play by MichaeL. He's gonna have to get a dust as well. Oh, they both want the last hit. Ooh, the Warden almost got it. Not much was missing there. One ghoul over at the fountain. Warden wakes up the creeps, but MichaeL is still healthy enough. And yeah, MichaeL cannot allow the creeping of this camp. He's got a lot of ghouls now coming in. He's gonna get a dust here as well, I would imagine. Oh, sells the ring. I don't like that at all. Of course, the ring doesn't protect you against Shadow Strike, but it does protect you against all the right clicks coming in from the Warden. He's taking a lot of damage here. Too much damage. He's gonna be forced to TP out. And that was just because of poor movement here by MichaeL. That's really painful. Oh, that was a nice move, though. MichaeL putting the ghouls on lumber. Oh, he has to go back in. Oh, he's got a telestaff, so he can join the ghouls again. Oh, that's a cool play. But he's not using it yet. Should be doing it. Ghouls going up against the wisps. Ancient of War taking a lot of damage. Warden gets the last hit, though, of the big one. Great items for her. Lots of bonus mana. That Pendant of Energy, absolutely amazing. Takes out one more ghoul, and almost level 3 again for the Warden. And I think MichaeL doesn't pay enough attention to the DK HP early. Already when he crept this camp, he was taking damage on the DK. I think you should take the damage on the ghouls, mainly, and then use the coil if you have to. DK HP is crucially important. That's also why selling the ring is pretty questionable. Alright. Warden creeping continues on the right-hand side with the Ancient of War also going for a Shredder. It's going to mean level 3 Warden. This is where MichaeL made the first big mistake of map number 1. When the Warden was level 3, he still tried to be aggressive. When the Warden is level 3, it's time to fall back, even if you are level 3. At least with the units. With the DK, maybe you can be more aggressive. But probably not. Oh my god, the items for the Warden are absolutely insane. DK gets to level 3. Replenishment Potion is, of course, amazing for him. But this is a waste of time. There's nothing MichaeL can do here. He should just be creeping up more. Try to get to level 4. I would say also go Death Pact. Didn't start the Lich yet. Slaughterhouse first.
A player's forces are under attack.
I like second Necropolis. Very good against Warden Harass, especially on the way to tier 3. Oh, but the Lich is really late. Only starting now. And the Lich experience, as we saw earlier, is going to be crucially important. The Nova is going to be responsible for a lot of damage in the late game. And sometimes undervalued, also damage mitigation. The slow of the Nova is significant. But now the Warden shows up and is looking for the kills. Every ghoul here matters. But first we see the hero focus against the DK. This is not really going to lead to a kill. Even if he commits the mana potion. DK can go for heal pots here. Classic Yange. Loves going for that hero focus. Archers in the middle. Ancient of War getting in position for the red camp. This would be a great creep to get. DK forced into a heal potion. Took a lot of damage right here. Warden healing up from the Moonwells. One Moonwell still with a lot of juice left. But it's also just the beginning of daytime, so we're not gonna have any Moon Juice regen here for quite some time. What I would love to see here for MichaeL is creep this camp first, then creep the natural, and then pick up a Dark Ranger on tier 3 and the orb. He's kind of broke though. I wonder why. It seems like MichaeL has fewer resources than he should. Oh, that's a great scout. With the skeleton in the middle. Has to creepjack this. Oh, the DK. He's trying to buy the orb and then staff into the mid. Okay, it's gonna be too late. Warden gets the big boy, almost level 4. Helm of Valor for her is alright. Not really spectacular.
Players' forces are under attack.
Oh, the Nova too late. A few moves here failing by MichaeL. Every last hit matters. Hero focus again on the Death Knight. We still got the big mana potion here, but also a heal pot for the DK, and most importantly the statue. What's the experience on the Warden? Level 4. She's got an AP in the base. That's pretty smart.
A player's forces are under attack.
Push could be dangerous. And unlike on Amazonia, she's far away from level 5. If MichaeL goes up to 50 supply, adds in a Dark Ranger, gets DK4, Lich level 2, or level 3, it's gonna be very strong. Oh, focus fire on the Death Knight again. You can do that a lot more times thanks to that big mana pot. Rinse and repeat. MichaeL needs more fiends. Something that I've noticed in MichaeL's micro, I was about to say MichaeL's micro, was that he uses Borrow a lot, which is good to save fiends, but ideally Borrow should be a last resort. Normally you want to kite back the fiends, and then once they're in a better position, keep attacking with them. Especially when you fight against Riot armies, also against bears. So I think MichaeL needs to be kiting a bit more and borrowing a bit less in these big fights. Replenish for the DK again. Woo, that feels really good. Temple of the Damned once again. We're gonna have Banshees coming in soon. Warden just use the big mana potion. Finds a one of mana stealing as well. Level 5, or rather 4.5. And right now MichaeL is strong. This is ideally where you would like to morph one destroyer and have crept this already and then force a fight and expand in the meantime. Dude, Yange is so rich. What the hell? It seems like MichaeL is so broke and Yange is so rich. It's the same amount of gold in the mine, right? Yeah. Strange. In we go. Focus fire on the DK once more, but he is pretty tanky here. Invul potion on the Warden. The ghouls go down very easily at this stage of the game. It's a good army for Yange. 3 bears, 4 dryads, a couple of archers. And again, I feel like it's looking better and better for Yange. But with this triple hero this time, MichaeL scales very strongly into the late game. If he gets level, say, 5-3-3 or 5-4-3, he's gonna be really, really strong. But right now, the Dryad Bear army is pretty hard to deal with. Both creeping the fountain. Big items here to be found. The Warden, of course, the problem with solo hero. It's always going to be slot starved. She gets level 5. Is she going to retrain again? Probably she will. Wait, what's the item? Can't see it. Lion horn. Very good. And this is the perfect timing for the Zeppelin. I love that by MichaeL. This is exactly when he knows the Warden will be level 5. Even goes for a sacrificial pit to be able to make one shade to detect in the main. Sorry, a bit out of position, but Coil is going to remedy that. Oh, DK. Rune Bracers. Great find. With that now, he doesn't really have to go into Death Pact. I guess with Banshees, he doesn't have to go into Death Pact anyways. We don't have the Banshees yet. MichaeL, very low lumber. Maybe should pull back some more ghouls. He's got adept training already for the Banshees. Would love to get master training as well. We saw earlier how impactful stealing bears can be. Shadow Strike on the DK. But he's got the Rune Bracers. Maybe you should still go... Oh, nice steal. Gets the item as well. Claws plus 9. Very nicely done here by the Night Elf. Now we got the DK level 2. Is MichaeL gonna take this fight? Seems like he really doesn't want to. Burrow coming in, but there must be a reveal. Oh, there's no Wisp at the lab. Big mistake. It's 3 Fiend kills that you're normally supposed to get. Now Coil on the Warden. Probably a bit of a misclick. And now the Dark Ranger is exposed. Is there an Invul Potion that can be transferred? Not really. Oh, the Warden dies! Oh, I wasn't expecting the Coil. Oh, huge mistake. And that is so much experience going to MichaeL. We have a Hippogriff now in the mix. There's no web against them. Oh my god. But you can't lose the Warden, man. He's got the Tree of Life in the meantime, but oh boy. That was so painful. Has to go for the Tavern Res, obviously. And that was so much experience going to MichaeL. And his heroes are growing stronger and stronger. 4, 3, 2 now. The Dark Ranger close to level 3 herself. With a green camp here, she could almost get it. She could get it, actually. Should pull back the other heroes. This is where the min-maxing for MichaeL still somewhat lags behind. Also, statue positioning very important. This mana statue doesn't quite hit the DK at the moment. I know, I'm being quite critical. But as a pro player, of course, you want to look for all the little ways that you can improve on. Master Training and Banshees are coming. But they're not here yet. And the expansion is going to be planted in just a second. Warden getting scouted on the way into the main. MichaeL should be able to intercept. He's going for Sapper again. Oh wow, even after being scouted, that's kind of curious. Sapper blows up, doesn't want to give the experience away, understandable. MichaeL needs to use these statues. Scouting now with the Shade. Warden might start her Invis shenanigans again. Tome of Retraining first. Ah, she didn't even have Fan before, that's right. Scroll of Healing here could be very helpful for MichaeL. He's gonna have a strong army. He can bring 4 ghouls as well into the fight. Those might have a bit of issues against the Fan of Knives, but if used well, can work out also very well. Hippogriffs. Can be very strong, but they're always very hit or miss. If you have enough to overwhelm the Fiend numbers and deal with the Destroyers, very good. But if they just get webbed and killed, it's gonna be sometimes a failed investment. Oh, it's gonna be a strong timing by MichaeL, though. He's got 1 A-bomb out. He's waiting for the next Ziggurat. Then he can make a Destroyer. He's got more Fiends. 1-0 upgrades. I think it's time to go. He's scouting with a Shade. He sees what's coming. Supply is even. But since the Warden isn't level 6, I think MichaeL is favored here. At this super late game, the Warden is supposed to be level 6. The question is, though, how the micro is going to look. It's pretty much all going to come down to micro. MichaeL is going to need some good kiting, especially with the Destroyers against the Hippos and the Fiends against the Bears. Oh, look at that Zeppelin. The Warden ready to drop into the main. The counter Zeppelin is ready, though. And MichaeL, if he's fast, is going to be able to load up these Acolytes quickly. And loses only 1. Alright. That was fine. Now MichaeL can attack the expansion, and it's going to force the Warden back that way. I think MichaeL is leaving too many ghouls in the main. He doesn't need 3 ghouls on lumber anymore at this stage.
A town is under siege.
Yange, is he going to defend this export or just going to let it go? Rejuve everywhere, and in we go. Doesn't have mana anymore on the bears now, basically. Hippogriffs flying in, getting webbed right away. Warden, the Fair Knives, what can it do? Level 3 on the Dark Ranger. Warden, she needs level 6. She was silenced, felt forced into the Invul Potion here as well. Koilnova aggressively against the bears. And it's taking a long time for anything to go down on the Undead side, as it seems. But there's no destroyers anymore. The Hippogriffs cleared the air. The Warden now missing a bit of experience still. Nice coil there. Last second save on the Banshee. And MichaeL might be doing it. Lich, heavy focus fire against him, but perfect invul timing once more. The Fan of Knives not doing enough apparently. MichaeL gonna TP out, trying to not lose anything, trying to feed the Warden the level up. Oh, but the unburrow too late. Ah, and it's always a shame for MichaeL. Always a few mechanical mistakes in there. Another level, what is level 6? Disease Cloud is hardly applied anywhere, actually. Should probably sell these Rune Bracers now. Invis Warden. Did he have Nature's Blessing, by the way? No. There's gonna be a Shade. Ready in just a second. Oh my god, the timing here is perfect. Oh, could silence her. Yeah, silence. Koilnova forces the Invul Potion. That's kind of a big deal. Blink Fan, trying to take out the Banshees. But that's not gonna work. Oh, Koilnova! Ooh. Making things a bit too close to for comfort. MichaeL needs to do a better job keeping his destroyers alive. Those have been dying way too quickly. Classic happy play. Late game, unsummon the altar. The next time by MichaeL is going to be strong again. Yange is super greedy. Didn't go into upkeep yet. Still sitting at 50. Oh. Wants to go into MGs. Those can be good. They can't be possessed, but they also don't do much damage at all. Seems like MichaeL's gonna go all in. He's waiting for the main to expire, as it seems. He sees the Warden again, who doesn't have an invuln anymore, by the way. 2 Shades. Scouting on the map. We'd love to see anti-magic on the Acolytes. The Warden sees the army leaving and knows now it's time for serious business. Going for a Sapper again. Alright. There's still a juicy connection possible right here. Oh, and MichaeL didn't see it. This may catch him completely off guard. Oh, no, I think he saw it. Yeah, he did see it. And Sapper doesn't do anything. Oh, but the Hippogriff against the Zeppelin, that's very smart. Oh, this is a smart play. Very smart play, threatening the Acolytes, threatening the base. MichaeL's just gonna go for the base trade. Expo down. Main base expired. Alright, now the game gets weird. What now? There's a TP on both sides. And I think this was smart for Yange. If he can fight now with the backup of Moonwells, this is going to make him a lot stronger. And MichaeL's completely broke. Oh my goodness. Supply fairly even. The Banshees have been spamming a ton of anti-magic, so they don't really have too much mana here for possession.
A player's forces are under attack.
at the moment during nighttime. Yange still has way superior vision. That's gonna change soon here. A little bit more creeping. That's relevant, actually. The DK is getting very close to level 5. That's a big deal, especially for the A-bombs and destroyers. Death Knight mana, though, really not that high. Just one Acolyte in charge here of mining out the rest of the gold mine. And the Tree of Eternity is gonna go over. MichaeL running back. He could certainly unsummon this Necropolis. Oh, I think he's not... he would be supply blocked. I think it would be worth it, though. Thank you very much, Mostar, with the 58-month resub, says BTW Woofies. Finally, the shade has been found. New Dust in the Warden. No Invul Potion again. We saw earlier how that backfired. It's gonna be hard to kill these Banshees if they're using Possession. There's only 2 Dryads and an Archer to focus fire the Banshees. This could be 3 Bears stolen, potentially. Well, he doesn't have much mana, though. Oh, he doesn't have much mana at all. Not enough mana for a single possession here, in fact.
A player's forces are
Alright, this is the big fight to decide the game. The Shredder is in. Everything is in. Blink Fan from the Warden doesn't hit anything. Hippos fly in, but that's just 3 kills. And that's DK level 5. And that can be the problem with the Hippos. If they just all get webbed, they can end up doing nothing. Oh, the Warden in trouble. Silence! Coil Nova! The Warden! 4 HP, but she still goes down. The last right click finds her. And it's GG, yo. And 2-0 for MichaeL. Winning his first game of the day. Moving on in the upper bracket. And it's going to be playing the decision round there next.